Okay, so this video it's for Mac users only. We'll see how to run the simulator of iOS, right? So for this, we need to install something that calls Xcode. This Xcode, it's a program, of course, where we're going to be running all the code from iOS, and this program contains, just like the Android tools, the simulator for iOS. Now, again, this weighs like 6 gigabytes, so it's gonna take a while to download. Now, I didn't delete it and didn't, remove this from my computer. So I'm gonna show you what you need to download, and you're gonna download yourself. You're gonna download for your computer, and then I'm gonna show you, of course, how to run it. So first, we need to go to the App Store. That's the first thing. On the search, we search for Xcode. So the first option is going to be this one, the Xcode, right? And you can see it's from iOS. So if you get something that says Xcode beta, do not install that one. Install the latest one. So it's telling me right here that I need to update, but never mind. I'm not going to update right now. So I'm going to go to Xcode, and inside Xcode, you're going to need to click on install. And of course, it's going to ask you for your app ID and your password and, the usual. So install everything. And after you get it installed, after it's downloaded, just open it. You will need to, of course, it's going to close this. You type Xcode and it's going to open Xcode. Let's give it a minute. There we go. It's opening. So 1 second, all right? So after you open Xcode, I have other projects right here because I'm recording this video after the course was recorded. So you can get this screen. Now, if you get a message saying that you need to install some updates, please do it. You need to install the updates. All right. Now, one other thing that you might need maybe later, not at this point, but later, is going to be an account. So let me show you some documentation I have right here. So choosing a membership. So you can use the Xcode to build an application and to use it in your computer, but maybe you will need later, if you want to publish your application, you will need to enter the app developer program. Yeah. And for Android, it's the same story, all right? So to do this, to publish your applications, you will need to pay $99 per year. So yeah, you will need to pay more money. So okay, so this is how it works. There's nothing we can do against this. But you're gonna need this ID, this developer ID, once you want to push your application to the whole world. You want to send everything to production. For now, we are not gonna really need it. Now, another thing I want to show you, I'm gonna give you a file with this ID, of course. This URL. This is the manual of Xcode. Right here, you're gonna get all the answers about Xcode. Of course, we're gonna run everything together, so you don't really need it. But I'm gonna give you the Xcode help just in case. All right. So let me get this out of the way. Right. So how can we run a simulator in our computer? Okay. So first, what we will need to do. We need to do the npm run, and instead of Android, we do npm run iOS. But first, just like we did with Android, we need to open our project in Xcode. So right at the bottom, open another project. I'm gonna click on there. I'm gonna open it. It's gonna take a second. Let's wait for it. Okay, I'm gonna go to Documents and find my project. So my course, React Native, code, then project 0, and we need to select the iOS directory. I'm gonna open it, and the Xcode, it's gonna start doing things. And at the top, you're gonna see loading and then indexing. So until this is done, we need to wait. All right, so it's done indexing. So now what we need to do, we go to the terminal, and I'm going to be doing the yarn run iOS. And if you're using npm, you do npm run iOS. So yarn run iOS. I'm going to press enter, and this process is going to take like 1,000 years. And of course, this is always the first time you run it. So again, it's gonna take a long time. So if it's taking like, I don't know, at least 10 minutes, that's normal. Don't worry. So go and get a coffee, do, I don't know, play something on the PlayStation or something like that. All right. So I'm gonna wait until this is done. And now if you run it and after a little while, you get something, maybe an error right here, or maybe a red bar right here, run it again. Do the yarn or npm run Android. That's very normal. Now in the middle, you're gonna get the it's gonna load the simulator. So this is the simulator. You get by default what you have on the Xcode. I have mine to use this version, which is, I believe, the iPhone 7, something like that. But maybe if you just installed Xcode, you're gonna get the latest one, the iPhone, I believe it's the 8. So you're gonna get that one. So of course, this is gonna take a while. I'll be right back. I'll be back when this process is done. Okay, so after a while loading, you're gonna get at least the iOS right here, the iOS screen. So let's give it a little bit more time. Alright, so after 2 coffees and maybe a little bit of GTA 5 online, you're gonna get your application loading. So this is called a splash screen. And right here, the process is done, but on the other terminal, it's gonna be it's gonna bundle up. So again, it's gonna take a few more seconds or minutes. Alright, so after watching the 10 seasons of How I Met Your Mother, this is done building. So yeah, it takes a long time. It's easier to use than the Android Studio, but it takes a little bit, it takes more time into building that application. Now, if you ask me, maybe, dude, is it gonna take this long every time we reload or we relaunch the simulator for this project? No, not really. This is just the first time you open a simulator for this project. The next, maybe tomorrow or the next week, if you run the simulator again, it's not gonna take this long. It's gonna take, of course, some time, but not this long. This is always the first time, because when it's doing this, it's saving some data into your Xcode project. So after it's done, it's gonna contain kind of a cache, so it's gonna grab it from there. All right, so don't worry about that. So all right, so everything is done. Now if you, of course, just like the Android Studio, if you make some changes right here, let me just delete this, and I save the file, it will not really reload. We can enable this, but it's really annoying. So how we can reload the simulator? It's Command and the letter R. Just press and hold, right? Command, press and hold Command, and then the letter R, and it's gonna reload just like that. And that's it. Okay, so we know how to create an application, how to inject, and how to run both simulators. So we are kind of ready to go to the next section and start with, real React Native. Okay, so let's go to the next one.